Hey everybody, welcome back to the K2N Online Paddle School. We are back here on YouTube, and this week we're talking about matching your bottom hand's speed to the speed of your boat. This video is talking about the conceptual ideas that go through the motion. So we're not really thinking about paddling any differently. We're just trying to take some time to conceptualize your overall stroke. Many paddlers don't understand the relationship of their movement, putting that energy into a tool, putting that tool into the water, and that's direct effect on moving a craft on the surface of the water. Many paddlers learn raw movement in a very drill sergeant oriented way. Hut, 2, 3, 4, hut, 2, 3, 4. And going through the movement now becomes the primary focus. Understanding the tool, its interaction with the water, and how the hull moves through the water. These are all things that are lost. On the opposite side, paddlers with absolutely no purpose. They go through the motion, they don't understand how to create the leverages and how any of these interactions are moving the boat. And it's important to understand how we can set up leverages, utilize the blade, feel that pressure, and understand how you're moving the craft. And one of the best ways to think about it is understanding what your bottom hand is doing throughout a stroke and how to monitor its movement speed to match the hull speed. As we complete a stroke, the goal that we're looking for is we are setting up the blade in front of us as an anchor point. My bottom hand helps set the position of the blade, and ideally it's going to stay out in front of me, and the boat is going to glide forward to this point. Then as I exit the water, the boat is going to continue its momentum and glide as you set up the next anchor point, pull yourself to the anchor point, remove, and glide. Now this is tricky to understand for a lot of people because when we do this on land, what actually happens is my hand moves closer to my body. And as we go through a stroke, your hand is going to close the distance between your hip at the front and the end of a stroke, right? Your hand is always going to travel back towards you. But the relationship of the boat is that it is moving forward. On land, I can't recreate that. My seat is not going to fly forward as I do this. But paddlers get focused on the raw movement, which would be that your hand starts in front of you and ends somewhere next to you. And this is not a good thing to focus on. As we go through the motion, we're trying to move our body to the anchor point. It's very easy to visualize with rock climbing. When I set my hand into a mountain, the idea is to put enough pressure on my hand to lift my body to this anchor point. If I was just trying to close the distance between my hand and my chest and I went this way with it, I would, yes, be completing a very similar motion, but because my hand and my anchor point left its desired spot, I didn't go anywhere. I could say that I have reached and pulled myself up this mountain 1,000 times, but I haven't gone anywhere. And a paddle stroke is very similar. We have to create the anchor point, leave the hand there, and pull our body to this point. This is the conceptual part, right? We need to understand this relationship in order to power it and to use it. If it is a gray idea that we don't quite understand and I just kind of go through some motions and things just magically happen, this lack of understanding means that we can't harness it, utilize it, and implement it. And so we see this a lot, right? So as we set up the stroke, we need to wait for the boat to get to our hand. It doesn't happen instantaneously. But unfortunately, we have joints that move incredibly fast. I can set my blade and get to the end of the stroke in a fraction of a second. But my hull moving all of this distance cannot occur in a fraction of a second. And this is why arm paddling is so detrimental, because our elbow joints move incredibly fast and it doesn't give time for this relationship to unfold with the boat, the blade, and our body pushing into the paddle. Just like with the rock climbing analogy, if I yank at my bottom arm, I'm moving my anchor point closer to me. So I am getting from a catch to an exit position instantaneously, but by not understanding what's going on, I didn't really move the boat forward all that much. And on the flip side, if we try to make the stroke rate slower by staying in the water too long, we are now slowing down how long it takes for the boat to get to our hand. I can get there in 1 second. I'm moving the boat pretty fast, right? But if I slow it down in the water and it takes me 2 seconds to get to that point, I've just cut my speed in half. When we slow down the stroke, we want that to happen in the air. I want a lower stroke rate because I'm recovering in the air and I'm taking more time to set up my leverages and I'm letting the boat glide unhindered. If my blade is still in the water, I am trying to move to my anchor point in a timely way. And if I slow this down artificially in the water, I'm now slowing down the speed of the boat. We have both, right? Moving too fast and moving too slow to our anchor point is not a good thing. So what we're trying to do is match the speed of the hull to the speed in which our bottom hand moves. Matching the speed gets the most out of your anchor point. When I set my blade up in front of me, I want to travel all the way to this point and beyond it. Using your whole body and feeling the force on your anchor point is the key. As we set up the paddle and I push down onto my anchor point, the boat is going to move forward at a certain rate, and I end up turning my torso to facilitate this. If I bend at the elbow, I'm gonna move faster than the hull's gonna go forward. And if I don't turn my body, I'm going to hinder the boat's ability to go forward because my bottom arm is now kind of in the way. Rotation allows you the opportunity to turn and allow the hand to travel back as the boat moves forward. This also adds to the illusion of paddlers that paddle very fast and very efficiently, looking like they move effortlessly. As they go through their motion, their whole body is working in unison to move the boat, and everything is moving at the right speed proportional to each other. Even if they're moving fast, because it's proportional, it looks effortless and elegant. Paddlers that look strained are moving their body proportionally faster than the speed of the boat. Or paddlers that are just not going fast at all are moving their body disproportionately too slow for the speed that the hull could go. Utilizing your whole body and feeling your pressure on an anchor point is the key. Pressing down is an excellent cue to try and keep a blade in one spot. If we think about pulling, we can successfully do it and pull our hand towards us. Just like with rock climbing, we're not trying to pull the mountain to the chest, we're trying to pull our chest up to the mountain. When we interact with water, if we try to do it too fast, we will slip and the anchor point will always move. And in a racing context, we want to go fast and be efficient. The same idea with the mountain. If I pull myself up to it incredibly slowly, I'm not doing it in a timely way and I'm overstraining my muscles for no real reward. We want to use our body to facilitate the pressure that we're finding on the anchor point and move the hand proportional in speed to the speed of the hull coming forward. Excellent, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. One of the reasons that we put out so many different videos and putting these ideas into different contexts for people is everybody learns differently. Learning in a conceptual way or a physical way or a literal way or a hands-on way. There's so many different ways that people take in information. If you want every part of the teaching spectrum covered, check out the K2NOnlinePaddleSchool.com today. Go through all these ideas and more in great detail for different skill levels to help you piece together your perfect stroke. We have different training programs available on the website as well. I'll write up on the water exercises for you, do video review, anything that helps keep you motivated and out on the water this year. If you have goals that you want to meet in 2025, think about K2N as you are reaching towards them. A big shout out to all of our channel members here, and all the channel members got to watch this video a full week in advance. Think about subscribing to the YouTube. It's $2.99 for the month and you get to see these videos 1 week earlier. It's only a small perk, but overall it just helps keep this channel operational for you all. Thank you all so much for the ongoing support, and we will see you all next week for the next paddle tip video.